Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. I'm Nick Park, and I'm in a series of messages here where every day we're looking at the power that is released in praise. We're building up to National Praise Day, which is on the 31st of October, celebrated by different churches around the nation, but also with a big concert taking place in Dublin 15 as well. You can find out more at nationalpraiseday.ie. And I heard a story from China, a story based on something that happened many years ago. Now, of course, God has done incredible things in China, and God is still doing incredible things in China today. There's a revival taking place there. But much of that revival was built, of course, on a foundation of missionaries in much earlier years who went and sacrificed and served the Lord and sowed the seed that today is bringing forth a great harvest. And there was a lady working as a missionary in China many years ago, and she was diagnosed with a deadly disease. And basically, she'd been given up to die. It was highly infectious, so she was locked up in a room. She was lying on a bunk bed and just on her own in this room, waiting to die. Everyone was afraid to come near her because they would catch the disease that she had. And she was getting sicker and sicker, and she was praying to God with all her heart for several days, praying for healing. And then one day the Lord gave her a vision. And in this vision she saw a set of scales, not like electronic scales, but the old-fashioned scales where they would pivot on a lever and you had to put weights that would balance on either side. I actually remember as a child seeing scales like that still being used in grocery stores. And today you still see them often outside buildings, courthouses. Many old courthouses would have a statue of Justice, the goddess of justice, and she's blindfolded to show that justice is blind and should be equal to everybody, and holding a set of those old-fashioned scales in her hands. Well, this missionary saw a vision of a set of these scales, but they were out of balance. On one side it was way heavy and weighed down, and the other side there was almost nothing on the scale. And God spoke into her spirit and said, I'm showing you something here, because the side of the scales that is weighed down and is carrying a great weight, that's carrying all your prayers. But the empty scale on the other side is carrying your praises, and it's way out of balance. And so strange as it may sound to somebody who was really at death's door, she stopped praying for healing, and she started praising God for everything that he had done in her life. And for the next 2 days, she just every waking moment, she shouted out praises to God. The other people in the building were listening at the door to the room and thought, this is it, this is the end stages of the disease. She's become delirious, she's having hallucinations now. The end is near. The end was near, but not the end that they expected, because after a couple of days of shouting out praises, she walked out of that room healed totally. God had done an incredible work of healing in her body, but he had done it when she got her prayers and her praises back into balance. There's a reason why Jesus said when he taught his disciples how to pray, he began by teaching them to say, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It starts off by praising God. Praises are an important part of prayer. And sometimes our prayers may not be answered in the way we want them to be answered because we're actually out of balance. And maybe it's time to get our praises in balance with our prayers. So if you're praying for the Lord to do something in your life today, I want to encourage you. Praise God. Get your praises into balance with your prayers, and let's see what the Lord will do. God bless you today. Join us again tomorrow for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.